All right, would you like to introduce yourself as a band? You are.
We are Wandering Oak.
And go around the room. Who are you and what do you do?
All right. I'm Robert. I founded the band. I play guitar and do lead vocals. And occasionally whistle.
I'm Deidre. I play bass and do backing vocals.
CW, drums.
Mario and I play guitar.
All right. And how long ago did you form the band?
So, the nucleus of it came together in like 2012. Some point in 2012. I had, been in bands for about 8 years, in and out, on and off. And, throughout all of it, had kept recordings or Guitar Pro files on my computer, and really hadn't had much success putting anything together. And then, it's funny how inspiration can come in the most unexpected of places. I had a hard drive failure where I lost all of my tabs, and I just forgot a lot of the music's. And at the time, I was hanging out with different people and was getting inspired by different artists and seeing the way they created. And I saw it as an opportunity to start over, so I started writing in a more organic fashion compared to what I used to. And as my tastes and influences were changing, and I had this clearer vision of something that I wanted to do, and that's what became Wandering Oak.
Okay. So, were any of you in the band originally?
No. However, Deidre and I did play in a band together way back in the day. Actually, my first band, we had a band that was first called Blood Moon and then became Tyrannicry. And in hindsight, Blood Moon was a way cooler name.
Yes. And easier for people to remember.
Yes.
But also more generic.
Yeah. No, that's the thing. I was trying to be more interesting. with it, and there's a balance there.
Yeah.
A notable thing about that band is Arlo Guthrie's grandson was the drummer.
Oh, nice.
No joke.
So how many incarnations of the band have there been before you got this lineup?
There were a few. The first lineup came together in Western Mass in the Berkshires, where we're both originally from. We had the first stable lineup put together, the Advent EP. That was around 2015. And we played a lot of local and regional shows. Most notably, we played a lot of shows with Wilderun before they blew up. And they are still good friends of ours. And, we're really proud of how much they've accomplished. But that lasted about a year and a half. Then some personal issues came up, and I made the decision to move to Rochester. So then there was sort of this interregnum sort of lineup that didn't really do much, played like one festival date. Then we eventually wound up with the lineup that did Passage Elemental, which is when Deidre joined. And I would consider that the second real lineup.
Okay.
And that had Monica Finger, who was in Marvadoxa.
Don't know.
No, they were like atmospheric black metal.
Oh.
She also played drums for Elfspell, which is one of John Gallow's bands.
Okay.
And then we had Josh Mason on guitar for a little while. He was in Nazgul.
Mm-hmm.
He was in Halothane for a while. One amongst the many. Dan Barber, from the singer for Hovel, played bass for a little while before Dee joined. And then for the album, we ultimately had Joe Lysing on lead guitar. He's been in Seplophile, Pig Rectum, Ferriston,
Ah.
who he has also been in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Currently, he's in One Way Terror.
Out of Buffalo.
Yep. So that was the lineup that actually toured with Wilderun when they did the Veil of Imagination tour. We were also kind of piggybacking on that tour, promoting Passage. And then that ended, and COVID happened, and
Okay, I was going to say, what year was that?
that was 2019.
Okay.
Yeah, that was like right before
Yeah.
COVID. It was like what, November 2019 or
Yeah,
something.
basically.
So it was like,
Yeah. Yeah, and then Joe went his own way, and eventually we parted ways with Monica, and we got CW, and we did Resilience basically as a three-piece, but with Andy McGurr, who is also in Ferriston and Hubris, and is now my bandmate in Helianthus, to do session lead guitar. We put that out, and we did some live shows with our friend Mitch, who is based out of Pittsburgh. He has a really cool Celtic fusion band called Wired to the Moon that I think is really cool. It's like weird. It has like electric bagpipes,
Oh, interesting.
but like weird time signatures, kind of jazz fusion-y stuff. It's really cool. Highly recommend that. And then eventually we got Mario through a friend of a friend. So this is, I would say, the 3.0 lineup. And yeah, this has been the lineup for the past 2 years now, I'd say.
Yeah, almost.
Yes.
Roughly. Yeah. And in my opinion, the best lineup.
Anything you played tonight new?
Oh, yes, our last song
Okay.
is a brand new song that we've been working on. And we are currently working on a whole new album. I have basically a whole album's worth of material sketched out that we're slowly putting together collectively.
Nice. Okay. So you're in how many bands?
Yes.
At least 3 by my count.
Yeah, so this is my baby. Wandering Oak is my baby. Goblin Hovel has been the other really long-standing one that I've sort of been Derek's sort of
Right.
right-hand man for a long time.
I was also in a old lineup of that.
Yes, so when I joined Goblin Hovel, it was like 2015, maybe. Dee and Peter, who she's married to, the banjo player, we'd been friends for a long time, and when I started getting together with Derek to work on music, I was usually staying at their apartment, so he would come over, and eventually we just kind of became a package deal for the new Hovel lineup.
And as far as you go, what bands have you been in previously?
Like, before I was in Wandering Oak, I basically hadn't been doing music for, since I was, a teenager.
Oh.
So,
Okay.
yeah, it's like I was in a band with Rob before that he mentioned, but, I kind of, went to college for a while and just, I wasn't really doing anything musically, but eventually got back into it and joined Wandering Oak.
So is this the only band you're in?
No, I'm also in Atrocity Tours, which Rob is also.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
That's the other one.
Yeah.
Yes, we are also in Atrocity Tours together. And then Helianthus, I'm also
So that's
in.
4.
Yes. And then I have other side projects.
Of course you do.
Yes.
You're a music machine.
Well, don't forget Broadsword. You were in Broadsword.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I was in that for a bit.
And then Elsewise.
Yeah, I was, yeah. Yeah, I kind of forgot, but yeah.
All right, what about you?
Currently in like 3.5. So I'm in Wandering Oak. My other main band is Hubris, black metal out of Buffalo, and then I play in an Irish folk band called the Southside Sodbusters, which is completely different than all of this.
Right.
And then I'm in Ferris Din, but that's been on hiatus for quite a while, so that's like my half. And
So
then,
it's not just done, it's just on hiatus?
that's what we're saying. It's hard because the other main guy, Andy, he's down in North Carolina. So
Right.
like trying to get things really going is hard when we're so spread apart, and we're having to kind of start all over again. So
Okay.
there's been issues
Well,
there.
it hasn't stopped Helianthus.
Yeah,
That's
or Hubris,
different.
but like those are still like
Yeah, but there's also personnel issues.
Yeah,
with
yeah.
Kirsten.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about previous bands?
I was in Pig Rectum with Joe Lysing, grindcore out of Buffalo, and then I used to have an adventure metal band I was in called Volker out of Buffalo. We did like two albums, playing in a tribute band, a Metallica tribute band called Metal Militia, and yeah, that's the bulk of it. I'd done other stuff before, but it was all really just kind of low key and not much else. My first metal band was called Metal Under the Influence out of La Grande, Oregon. So
All right.
we have an album. It's not online, and yeah.
And you are currently in Halothane.
Yeah, I'm currently in Halothane. And then other than Wandering Oak, I've got a band in Maryland, which we're kind of like trying to get back going called Radamanthus. And that's been like my baby since I was like in high school with my buddy Alex. So we started that band in like 2008, and we played a lot in Maryland, Virginia, DC. And then COVID happened. Well, first he had a child, Alex had a child, and then when we got started again, COVID happened. And then I moved here, and so this couple of months ago we talked it out, and I decided we're gonna start doing stuff again.
Cool.
And then I am also vocalist for the band At the Plates, which is like just an online project.
Oh, okay.
But
Fun.
yes, it's fun.
It's like Gothenburg Melodeath, where everything's about food.
Oh yeah, it's like pure mellow death worship.
Nice. And previous bands?
No previous bands. Pretty much
Oh,
Radamanthus had been like the thing that I'd worked on since I was a kid, and I was in that until I wasn't.
So none of you are originally from here.
Doesn't seem like
Yeah.
it.
No.
Yeah, no.
No, we all just got sucked into this
Western
place.
New York.
Yeah.
So where did the name Wandering Oak come from?
Well, I think it comes from a few different sources. There's a few things that inspired it. I would say maybe one of the more literal meanings would be like an Ent from Tolkien fantasy.
Right.
You know, I think it's also kind of in the spirit of Led Zeppelin, a descriptor of the music. Like, it's progressive, it wanders, it meanders, but it's also heavy and strong, but organic too.
Yeah, yeah.
It's kind of an oxymoron, though.
Right, much like how Led Zeppelin,
Yeah.
it's a
Yeah,
wood made of
yeah.
lead. Yeah, it's like, it's a tree. How is it supposed to move? Yeah, and I think
Wondering
that
what to do.
it adds a little sense of, like, you know, outlandishness
Okay.
to it. And also, there's a tradition in, like, Scandinavian, like, Old Norse culture called a kenning that sort of describes something in a poetic sense that I think kind of inspired it. I haven't really studied up on kennings in a while, but it, like, just sort of a poetic way to describe something.
Okay.
Like a wandering oak could be a person of a certain quality. It could be, you know, it's very allegorical, I would say.
Okay. Do you write all the lyrics?
Yeah.
And what inspires you there?
Tends to be on the personal side. A lot of it has to do with, like, you know, I think as time has gone on, it's changed a bit. When I first started, it was much more about, like, mythology and nature and pagan shit. And it's kind of gradually become a bit more, I guess, personal and maybe a little social, socio-political, but it's bathed in allegory.
Right.
You know, it's not super on the nose. One, because I don't want to be just shoving it in people's faces.
Yeah.
Even if I'm very passionate about it. But also, I think it's good for artists to allow the listener to sort of come to their own conclusions about it.
Okay.
So I think giving the listener just a little bit of wiggle room to sort of form their own narrative, their own headcanon about it is a good way to go about it. But I would say, like, yeah, nature, my feelings on political issues, personal stuff, you know, sometimes more personal, like, real life accounts, like stories, sometimes semi-fictionalized. It's
Yeah.
kind of all within that realm, I would say.
So how many shows have you played with this lineup?
That's a good question. Maybe like 6.
Oh, it's got to be more than that. Because we played, like, just the 4 dates when we toured.
Where's your tour?
Oh, yeah.
Was it 3 or 4? What?
I think it was 3.
Oh,
3.
yeah.
We did Bar 13 down in Delaware. That was as for the demonic symphonic thing that High Council
played, right? Okay.
Yes. We played.
Played the Psychic Garden.
Yeah, we did Psychic Garden
yeah.
a little while ago. We
Played Mohawk Place?
Yeah,
we
Mohawk
played
Place.
Buffalo
2 times. I
2
think.
times with you now.
I think just once with
Just the
Mario.
one.
Once
Or just
with
once.
Mitch
Yeah.
when we started that tour.
Yeah.
We did Boston. We did that
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
show.
Maybe
The
it's just
blacksmith
6.
shop.
Not the one in Salem?
Oh, yeah. I don't know if it was Salem, but it was...
Oh, wasn't the Salem one with Mitch?
Getting mixed up.
Oh,
Yeah.
that was a different
Our
one. That was
friend
a different
Liv from Ice Giant. You know Ice Giant? She put that show together. It was a benefit show.
Oh, right.
Then, yeah, like not that many.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
But you do have one coming up.
Yes, we are playing Record Archive on May 5th.
Okay.
And then
In Rochester.
Yeah.
Yes,
And that's, what, like 7 p.m. or something?
usually.
Yeah.
And then we're playing Duende out in Buffalo on
The Grain Silos, yeah.
Silo City on May 30th with Cemetery Echo.
Oh, I like them.
Yeah, they're awesome. And then a new band called Bifurcate,
Oh,
which
okay.
is Glenn Szymanski's band, his new
Oh,
band.
killer. I
Yeah,
didn't realize he was in there.
Oh.
Yeah, what was he in before? I know the name.
Tynes?
he's in Times.
Oh, yeah, okay, okay.
He's been in a bunch of.
Yeah.
He's old. I hope he
Comes
I
out
hope
to a
he
ton of shows.
sees this video and. But they're like, I guess like sort of progressive, sort of punky black metal.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing them. So that'll be a good show. And we have some other shows on the horizon that have not been announced yet.
Okay. And you have 2 albums, technically?
Yeah,
Okay.
two full lengths and an EP.
Oh, okay. And these are all available where?
Bandcamp, most streaming services,
Except Spotify.
except Spotify. We are very anti-Spotify.
Yeah.
Good.
I don't. think-
YouTube's the easiest place to find our stuff, besides Bandcamp.
Yeah. YouTube Music, Bandcamp.
Do you have physicals?
Yes, we do.
Okay.
Yes, and those are for
Yeah.
sale on Bandcamp
Yeah, yeah.
or
Nice.
at the next show.
But only 8-track because we're true musicians.
Yes, we have to re-up on cassettes.
That makes sense, yeah.
I know we're working on a deal with a Croatian label for phonograph,
Ah.
but you know, I think I have to sell a few more quarts of blood to be able to afford that.
All right, is there anything else people should know about the band?
I don't know.
And where's the best place to follow you?
Yes, we are on Instagram. We're on Facebook. Those are the two big ones. Instagram, we're a little more active on. And, yeah, come check us out. And message us if you want us to play your city.
All right. Well, thank you for coming out and playing. Great as every time I've seen you.
Yeah, thanks
I
for
really
having us.
appreciate it. Thank you for having us.
Thank you.